All right, babe. So what you sipping on today?
Today I'm sipping on a French 75, but New Orleans style, baby.
Okay, baby.
Which is, you substitute instead of the gin, you substitute that with cognac, and then it's champagne and a little squeeze of lemon juice.
Okay, that sounds good. That sounds good. Well, we both on the cognac today, so I have what you call a beautiful, just a little Grand Marnier cognac on the rocks. It's my drink, so
all right.
Cheers.
Well, cheers to that.
Oh, man. All right, so let's get into it though. First topic of the day. Recently there was a situation where PJ Washington went to go pick up his son from his baby mother, Brittany Renner. Let's take a listen.
Okay, hold on, cars. This is what we're not doing. So every time that he does this, I'm going to report this. Because that's not okay. No, the thing is, this is the third time he's done it. He doesn't want to go with you. So actually show up and do something then with him. Because he does this every time. No, it's not. Baby had a baby soon. You're going to drive us up? That's terrible. 3 weeks in a row. Yeah, no, it's not that at all. No, it's not. No, yeah, I will. But I'm telling you right now, every single time it's up here and you guys, we're going to report that. And it's up with me. Just know that it's up.
It's not good.
What'd you say? What'd you say?
I understood it.
I didn't hear you say it again.
Suck my dick.
If you had one, maybe I would. Yeah. What the fuck you looking at? Get your bitch ass out my driveway, ho.
Hey, you don't pay for shit.
Fuck you. You don't pay for shit either. $170,000 to your hoe, but $11,000 in your son's bank account. $11,000 in your son's bank account, but $170 to that bitch.
All right. So a lot to unpack there, right?
That's an
understatement. Yeah, there's a lot going on there. So let's just start with, how do you feel about that situation? Like, number one, like, do you think it's cool for her to be filming him, as he comes to pick up his son? Number two, should she really be pocket watching, what he provides for his wife and comparing it to how much, their child has in his bank account? From watching the video, it looked like may have been a family member that was there involved in the whole situation too. So my third question is, should she have her family involved in their drama? So you can start with whatever you want to start with.
I'll start with the last thing, the second to last thing you said. And the title is Brittany Renner and Mom Try to Fight PJ Washington's Wife.
Okay.
So
that was
I believe that was the mom that was with her. And not like I follow Brittany Renner like a lot, but her and her mom are very close from what I have seen in the past. So, I mean, that makes sense that she would be there. You said it perfectly. It's so much to unpack here. And it's hard because you don't know all the facts. You don't know what goes on behind the scenes, but I'm just going to go off what I have. And for me, first of all, I think it's pretty petty to film the situation, especially pickup, where there was actually nothing violent that happened or nothing that needed to be recorded, in my opinion. I don't think a child crying once he's leaving his mom means to record an incident. I just feel like that just aids the situation more, and the hostility altogether aids that situation more and just highlights that situation, the baby crying. I personally think that he's a young child. I have 2 kids. A lot of times, I don't know what that child was feeling, but a lot of times, most kids at a young age want their mom. Not only that, most kids at a young age want the parent that they're with the most. And if he's a weekend dad, no disrespect, but if he's a weekend dad or every other weekend dad, there's going to be times where he just doesn't want to be getting handed off to dad. I think it's always a weird situation. I've heard people in the past, they go to instead of doing a handoff per se, they go to a fun place or they go to McDonald's or restaurant and makes it smoother transition when getting the child. So I think maybe that could also be a different situation. That environment could be a little bit different, and maybe that's something that they got to come together and do. But there's just, I don't know, I just feel like recording it was just so unnecessary. And then having added an extra people, the wife being there, the mom being there, sometimes.
Yeah, that's never good.
Like,
that's never good when there's multiple people involved, you know, on either side. So, I think I started that question with, was she out of line for having a family member involved? But you're right, his wife was also there. So there could be issues in that exchange just by having another party there. And I don't know what that relationship looked like, but it looked like it was a very stressed situation, right? So, it might not be a good idea to have your wife involved in that child exchange. And I know that's his wife and everything, but it might not be a great idea to have her involved if there's still bad blood there, because you don't know what can transpire. So as far as her filming the whole thing, in my opinion, I think I guess it depends. It depends on her reason for recording. I think what I read was that she was a little upset that the baby cried whenever he came to pick the baby up, but honestly, like, babies are gonna cry. Babies are gonna cry, right? Like, I think he was a really young child, right? So, in any exchange, I think if she goes to go pick him up, with that, in that exchange, would the baby be crying then too?
Did he need a nap? Was it nap time when he picked him up? Was he late? Did he get woken up out of his nap? I think there's so many other factors. I don't really think that tells the whole picture just because baby is crying. Like, and I don't know what that point proves. I don't know if she's recording, if her intentions are to record so she can use that information in court. But in my opinion, I don't think that's really going to go anywhere, because again, children cry, especially toddler age. They cry for multiple reasons that are unbeknownst to us as well as to them. So I don't really think that paints a picture of, like, it's not like he was frightened. Now, if there's other things behind that, then I would understand the recording and the need to say, no, he's in fear, or he's afraid, or doesn't feel welcome, or whatever the case is, additional factors that you needed to record. But in this case, just going off the facts, she literally says, I'm going to cry every time because he doesn't want to go with you. And
record. You said record. You said cry, but record.
Oh, my apologies.
Record every time.
She said that she's going to record every time because he cries. Now, she also, I believe she said something about, because something like, in a sense, like, he doesn't come. So if he's not coming, I can understand that if he's a week, for lack of a better term, a weekend dad, or an every other weekend dad, sometimes there's not enough of a relationship built. And also, I mean, so you don't know, and then you don't know how much time he's getting with his dad, how much that bond. So there could be a situation where it takes him a little bit to warm up to dad once he gets passed off to dad when it's his weekend. And so I think if she's doing it for the purpose of, like, look, he's crying because he doesn't see you enough, I guess I can get that.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. But, the part where, she's got to, like, pocket watching, that's,
I forgot. Yeah,
I feel like she's a little out of line there. Like,
it was the mom that said it too.
Okay, so, but don't compare, what our child has in a bank account versus something that I purchased for my wife. You know what I mean? If we are in a separated situation, right? Like, I just feel like, that doesn't matter. Like, whenever PJ Washington has his child, I'm sure he's taking care of everything for his child. And just because his child doesn't have a certain amount in his bank account doesn't mean that he's not providing for his child, or, like, I wouldn't compare, like, something that the wife got to what my child has in the account. Like, I just feel like
that argument was trash. I don't even know why she brought that up. How do you compare? First of all, there is no comparison between a wife or a spouse and a child. There is no comparison, especially if we're going off biblical terms. Like, there's no comparison there. So, like, let's not do that, one. And then two, like, are we really going that low to where it's like, you don't do for your child, but your child is, are we going off of, like, how is she getting this information? I want to know that too. Like, what is this? Is the $11,000 child support? Like, what is this? I don't understand it. How you know that woman got $170,000 in her bank account? And that's his wife. She technically has half of whatever he has, or whole of whatever he has, right?
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know about you, but I didn't have $11,000 in my bank account as a kid. And what the hell is a little kid gonna do with $11,000 in his bank account anyway? Like, I feel like that's more than enough to get
way
the
more
child
than enough.
whatever he needs. You know what I
That's
mean?
more than enough to take care of him. So I'm just like, is this a savings? Is this a bond you have for him? What are we talking about right now? Like, why are you mad that he has $11,000? That's pretty good for a toddler.
Well, I know that boy PJ Washington just got that big contract, so she probably pocket watching just because of that. It feels like his son should have a lot more money in his account.
Could be.
But that's not to say that his son won't have that access to that type of money. You know what I mean?
No, he's still a present father for what it seems like. He picked this child up. So like you said, he has access and he's being taken care of. So why are we really pocket watching? Why are you mad, or why are you upset that he only has 11,000 and you're comparing it to what the wife has? Why are we even comparing that? If Brittany Renner was with him still, wouldn't she have more money than the child had?
Exactly.
So again, I thought it was an argument that wasn't even worth bringing up.
I agree with you. But the other thing that we touched on a little earlier was the family member, getting the family involved. You know how I feel about that. Like, I've always told you, like, hey, if we going through something or we got some drama, like, don't bring your family into it.
Yeah.
And for the reasons that, you know, we may get over whatever we going through. We may get over that drama. Exactly.
They are not forgiving.
They hold on to that kind of stuff, right?
They bring up that kind of stuff. They put it in their pocket and wait to bring it out at Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah, exactly. So
no, I get it. Yeah.
You don't want to bring the family into your drama, you know, because, you know, once you repair whatever is going on in your relationship, now you got the family involved and they feel a certain way about your person, right?
Yeah.
So you never want to put them in the middle of any type of drama if you planning on, you know, continuing to be with that person. You know, like, if it's over and it's over, then you say whatever you got to say. But while we in it, don't bring your family into drama, because it's just going to create tension across the board for everybody.
Yeah. And I mean, again, I don't know the whole situation between the exchange with, or the terms, I should say, not even just the exchange with the kid, with their child that they have together, but just the terms of their relationship. And when I say relationship, I don't necessarily mean when they were together. I mean just a relationship, period. They still have a child together, so they still have to parent. So I don't know what the dynamic is between the two of them, but I can say from the looks of it, it doesn't look good. And I do understand that if it isn't good, I can understand on PJ Washington's side that he's like, no, I want someone present. I want my wife present. I can understand Brittany Renner saying, no, I want someone present. I want my mom present. But sometimes you have to have parties that have a little bit more, they have a little bit more reserve in their demeanor or their actions when it comes to being involved, as I just need somebody to be present in the event something does pop off. I need someone to be present. I need a witness, in other words. Right. But there's another situation where having people that are extremely close to you, a wife extremely close, a mom extremely close. That's why a lot of times in courts, they usually, when it is bad blood, they will have outside a third party do the drop off between the kids, because it gets bad.
Yeah, 100%. And the family is invested in, you know, whatever is happening with you. You know, like, they want to see you happy. Like, family wants to see you happy. That's well, most family members anyway want to see you happy. So, you know, just putting them in the middle of all that, I feel like is, you know, going to create drama in itself.
Yeah.
And, you know, the main thing for me, though, is doing all that in front of the kid. Like, I feel like the kid shouldn't have to sit through any of that, you know, any drama that's going on between mom and dad. I feel like, you know, you got to leave the kids completely separate from that. You know, if she had, you know, some animosity built up, she needs to, you know, address him on their own, you know. And I don't know their situation. I don't know if they even are communicating outside of picking up the kid, but it seems like there's not like a mediator in the middle of it because they're exchanging the kid from each other. You know,
from home to home.
Home to home. So I feel like there is opportunity for them to have conversations, and if they, have tension or whatever is built up, any issues that they have, they need to address that between them two and not all these other parties, and then especially not in front of the child.
Yeah, I think. Well, hey, I hope they work that situation out for the child, and I mean for peace of mind. Like, I don't think that's ever an ideal situation to be having beef with the father of your child or the mother of your child, because children feel that, children grow into that. They're a product of their environment. So hopefully they can work that out, because by the looks of it, it did not look good. And I don't know what happened after the camera stopped rolling.
100%. So, hey, peace to Brittany Renner and PJ Washington. I hope they figure that out. And I hope they keep, those types of situations offline. So,
yes,
let's move on. So, in other news, Aisha Curry made some comments on podcasts recently. So, you know what? Let's just listen to it and then we'll get into it.
Want kids. I didn't want to get married. I thought I was going to be career girl and that's it. And I had my eyes set on my goals. And I was never the little girl that like dreamt about the wedding dress and all of that. And then it happened so early in my life.
Did you talk to Steph about it?
He tries to resonate with me, but he just can't. And he also comes from a place of like, it's effing stupid. Like, it's not true, so why? And I'm like, but wait, like, listen to how it makes me feel. And he's like, but why does it make you feel like that? It's not real. After we got married, we found out we were pregnant with our daughter so quickly. I didn't even have time to think about what I wanted anymore. It's so interesting. I spent my entire life like trying to work towards something, and then it kind of just disappeared, and I didn't think twice about it. But after my daughter turned 1, I remember there being a shift and being like, I have goals for myself. Like, this doesn't feel right. I love being a mom, but I love doing other things too. And I need to get my shit together and figure out what that looks like for myself now.
If I have a career and I'm not home, like, did you experience that?
I still experience that. I'm always in therapy talking about this. If you lose all of those things that were interesting about you, even for yourself, like even the things that made me feel confident and cool, then what are you doing?
Okay, so
where would you like to start?
Number one, I hate that. I hate that she went on a podcast to talk about that. There's some things that, I think should stay at home, honestly, and stay between them two and things that you're working out, in a marriage. But I kind of want to hear from you because I know you've been in a very similar position before, where you were a stay-at-home mom, and I know that you had some feelings about feeling like you weren't adding value at one point. So, what are your thoughts about what she had to say in comparison to like some of the things that you went through, and how do you feel about the comments she made?
Well, I could go on forever, baby, so buckle up. Just kidding. No, I'm actually not kidding. But yeah, I know that you hate that, but so the way this is edited on YouTube, it's literally just snippets of parts that she said. Like, after she said that she didn't want kids, that part that comes after where he's like, oh, well, what are you talking about? It's not true. That had nothing to do with the comment that she made before. So I just want to start there. I will unpack that in a second, but I wanted to start there. We are going to collide on this because, like you said, I kind of have been in a similar position. And I personally don't think there was anything wrong with it. I watched the whole podcast, and she does nothing but she loves Steph. And, like, there's no ill will. There's no doubt in my mind that like she loves Steph, she loves her kids, she loves everything. She's not even talking about like their actual relationship, like per se. If you actually listen to it and dive deep into the conversation that she's having with the host on Call Her Daddy, like she literally is talking about herself. And I honestly, I don't really see the big deal. I think that people need to actually sit down and watch that podcast fully. So, sorry, question.
So you saying like they took a clip and
they took clips and kind of edited it to highlight some things that she said. And I will say some of the things that she said, I definitely think they were shocking. But to be honest with you, I kind of appreciated that she was open, honest, and transparent about how she feels as a mom. A lot of times, even the host talks about it. She goes, so like, I don't have kids, but like, I hear that this is a real thing, mom guilt. And it really is. Like, you have guilt as a mom anytime you're taking away anything that doesn't involve your kids or your spouse. You feel like you're doing something less than. I was in a position before where I was a stay-at-home mom. I did it for 3 years, and like, I don't know, it just wasn't for me. Not that I don't love my kids and love being able, I totally appreciated being able to drive my kids to work, my kids to school every day and not have to go to work. Like, that gave me so much fulfillment because I had never done that before for my early stages in my son's, when he started school. But I was able to do that as he got a little bit older, and then I was in turn able to do that for my daughter, and I loved it. And when I went back into work 3 years later, I was like, wait, this is trash. Like, I'm not being able to take them to school. Like, I'm missing things. Like, I'm missing volunteering at school and all that. But I think there's a balance, Like, and for me, that's why I say I don't really feel like she said I don't feel like she disrespected her husband. I don't feel like she disrespected her kids. She said this is how she's seen her life. We can all go back and say, when I was growing up, or not even when you were growing up, when I was becoming an adult, this is how I see my life. If I go back into my life, I hooped, I played college ball, and I thought right after college ball, I was either going overseas or I was going to play in WNBA. One or the other or both. That was my life. That's what I've seen. I've always seen my life with being married and having kids. But I also knew this part in my life that I wanted to reach. And I was like, this is all I see. And then after college basketball, life had different plans. I went a different way. And I'm not mad at the way I went, but I totally detoured everything and said, nope, I'm going this way. This is the direction I'm going. And I went that way, and I love every bit of it. But there is times where I'm just like, I identify as a wife and a mom. And I'm like, I need to figure out today what it is that makes up me, and I'm still me, but outside of being a wife and a mom. And I think that's why I think that she was just being open and transparent. And I kind of respect it. I wouldn't say it exactly the way she said it. I don't feel the exact same way, but I can appreciate somebody that's just being honest.
Yeah, no, I can see that. Like, I think, everyone goes through a period of transition where they are, or where they think their life is going to go in one direction, and then all of a sudden, things happen, life happens, So I don't fault her for feeling the way she does, but I feel like she needs to get over it in a way. I feel like at some point, like, you have to understand that, okay, life didn't go that way, right? You don't hold it against the person that you're with, and you don't hoard those feelings.
Why do you think she holds it against the person that she's with? What gave you the indication that that's how she feels?
That she's holding it against them?
Yeah. What she said?
I feel like it's multiple comments that have been said.
In the past, or on this platform that she was on?
Well, I'll be honest, like, I didn't listen to the entire thing. I only saw the clips. It's kind of like she's unhappy with the way things turned out. You know what I mean? And I feel like that builds resentment.
See, that's why I think you have to listen to the whole thing. So I personally, again, I don't get that same thing. I didn't even know the backstory about her and Seth. I knew that they knew each other for a very long time. I knew that they went to high school together, but on that podcast, she talks about how they like went to church together. Like he was the first person that she met when she moved from Toronto when she was 14 years old. So there's a lot of backstory. To me, I don't get the feeling that she has resentment towards him. I get the feeling that
well, maybe not even towards him, but towards like the life that she has today. Because like she feels like her life should have been different. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what you get from the clips. And I think that's why, people are dragging her in the media now because of that. Because it sounds and it comes across as if you're not happy with the life that you have right now.
But my thoughts are, why does talking about something mean that you're not over something? Like, talking about something is healthy. Like, talking about things that's happened in life, as long as you're not, I guess if you're not reminiscing on the past at all times, then it can be detrimental to your livelihood. I understand that. But I feel like just because people talk about things that have happened in their past, and these are pivotal moments to her. So she's also on a platform and she's being asked these type of questions. They wanted to know whatever happened in the back end that made someone want her on the podcast to say that. But I think it's because of the success that she's had in her life. She's always been a businesswoman. She left high school early. She graduated early just so she can start being the businesswoman that she wanted to be. So she had an entrepreneurial mindset from the very beginning. And I think that she just seen her life different. I think that goes the same with people that say they don't want kids. Look at Jeannie Mai. She said she was with somebody else and said, I don't want kids. I don't want kids. I don't want kids. I don't want kids. She got divorced from her husband after 10 years. And then she gets with, Jeezy, and then they end up having a kid. And she said herself that she never wanted kids. But is it just that maybe 10 years ago, the person that she was with, not only that, she was very driven. She was a person that was taking care of her whole family. Is it possible that at that time she didn't want kids? So why can't both those things be true? She really didn't want kids, but she actually had a kid and she loves her child. So it's the same. I feel like it's the same situation with her. She was very young. Her and Steph got married they got together at a very young age. They got married at a very young age. They had a kid I personally think they had a kid very quickly after marriage at a young age. So to me, I just say that like you just said, life happens. The host said the same thing. She said, life happens and things change. Your mindset changes. It could be younger you was this is the way I see my life. You can't fathom being married and having kids. There's people today that say they want kids. I want kids. I want kids. They get 30. All their siblings had kids before them, or all their friends had kids, and they get 30 and say, oof, I don't want kids anymore. And then literally don't have any kids. So I feel like both things, I feel like times change, seasons change, and that's kind of how we go through life. You say one thing, just because something happens opposite of the thing you said doesn't necessarily mean that you're not happy or you're not grateful. It's just I had to pivot. That's not what I thought my life was going to be, but this is how my life turned out, and I love my life. And she literally talks about, I love my kids. I love Steph. She talks about their relationship. She talks about her kids. So I don't get that she's harping on any resentment or she feels some way or she's living in the past because she's bringing these things up. I just feel like she expressed that on that platform.
Yeah, well, I mean, how do you feel about, how everyone is saying things about her in the media and saying that she doesn't respect Steph and all these different things, she wants to be out here in the streets? Because you got to remember that this isn't the first time that this has come up. There's been a track record of her on record saying things in the media that make it sound as if she wants a different life. You know what I mean? So how do you feel about how people are dragging her right now, online?
Well, I will say, again, I think that a lot of people, what they need to do is go in, and I think that they need to view the whole podcast, one. I also think that people need to understand that she is human just like the rest of us. Is she held to a higher standard because she's she's married to a huge celebrity, huge star. Like, yes, 100%. Should it be that way? Is it right? No, but that's just the way it is. I think that I went as far as reading the comments on YouTube, and there was a lot of people that literally had a change of heart. They're like, I was like most of everybody just looking at the clips, and I totally was like, this chick is tripping. Like, why is she saying this?
That's me.
No, but
hey, 90% of America is just looking at the clips.
A lot of people,
and then they're commenting off the clips. So
that's what happens.
That's why this is the best of both worlds. You saw the whole thing I did.
Look at that.
And we have two different perspectives because of it.
Exactly. So, and I think it's important that like you see the whole story first, because at first I was like, I thought the same way you did. I was like, here she go again. Oh my gosh. Like, and a lot of times I think that she comes on and she says stuff, and instead of getting a whole interview from her, we get these like tweets, these things that she says on Instagram, these moments where someone recorded her and she said this, or she's out with her friends dancing and they're like, oh, look what she don't got no clothes on. Like, I think that people see these things and they're automatically like, oh, what are you doing? It's no different. She said that she was at a game one time, and one of the hosts or the broadcasters said on live TV, she needs to, and this ain't verbatim, but she said she needs to just sit down and basically be cute and watch the game and do like all the rest of the wives and stuff do. It's like, what? That's like, that's very similar to like a lot of people saying that like athletes shouldn't have any thoughts on politics or anything other than basketball. Right, it's like, why does she have to do that?
No, you're right. And that's kind of belittling, her, and especially as somebody who is educated and has, their own aspirations and
that she has her own brand. She literally and she has done stuff what people probably don't know. And again, I'm just going off of the interview and a couple of things that I know, and I follow her, so I see some of the stuff she posts and some of the stuff she's doing with her business, and shout out to her. But what people don't know is that she was doing stuff before she was with Steph. Like, she was on TV, she was acting, so she was in the limelight before he was. Not to say there's any comparison, because Steph is Steph. Like, everybody knows who Steph is. But I'm just saying that, like, she had a vision for her life. Not only that, she said Steph told her he wanted to be a high school basketball coach. And then he turns out to be this amazing superstar that has literally changed the game of basketball. Nobody prepares for that. Do you know what I mean? If you put me in front of a million people and have me doing all these interviews, I'd probably say some dumb stuff. Like, I would probably get, I
believe that.
I'm just saying, like, people, it sucks because you say one thing and it's like, oh, she's horrible. Oh, she out here trying to be a doc. She just want to party. She didn't get to live her life as well. Like, she didn't get to have that party phase or that, not saying that she needs to go have a hot girl summer. She's married, but I also think that.
But I think that's what she's missing.
Maybe it is, but maybe what people are understanding is like, she's not saying I want to go have a hot girl summer. I don't know what she's saying, but I'm saying maybe she's not saying I want to go have a hot girl summer and sleep with every man. She might just be saying, look, I didn't really get to have a party phase because I graduated from high school. I went straight to LA, got a job, started working in the field. I lived on my own.
Look, I can relate to that because I've been working since I was 2, and I used to carry around a briefcase. No.
Here we go.
I can give this to you. I'm gonna give this one to you because
go give it to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this one to you because honestly, I did not do my homework and listen to the entire podcast, but you did, and I defer to you on this one. And for Aisha Curry, for me, I just feel like again, if you have these feelings, then you gotta find a different way to kind of relay those feelings to your husband and not through these media forums. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like being on a podcast and airing those things out are only gonna put you in a negative light. And maybe you don't care, but
don't get me wrong. I think that, and I think she said from the beginning, I'm probably going to get in trouble for something that I say.
Yeah.
So don't get me wrong. I don't think that everything, I don't agree with everything that she said or how she said it. But I know one thing for certain, that is her truth. And one thing that I'm really big on is like, I walked a mile in your shoes, and I'm never gonna completely understand what you have going on, nor do I don't know what goes on in your relationship. I feel like, I don't know this for sure, but I feel like Steph empowers her to just freely be, and that sounds crazy, so don't come for me, but I'm just saying, I feel like Steph empowers her to be who she is. I don't think that he is looking for her to filter herself or water herself down. And I think that they have a lot of conversations. She strikes me as a person that if she has something on her mind, she's going to talk about it. So
I think she's just being herself.
I think she's being herself. So for me,
and he knows that.
Exactly.
You know? Well, we'll close with that. So, I just want to, thank everybody for, tuning in. This is our very first episode of our Love Lounge. And this is where you're gonna get all of your relationship takes. We will talk about everything in the media and personal situations. Things that we have been through, things that people we know have been through, because we get a lot of questions around how we have stood the test of time in our relationship. So we want to bring that to this platform, and this is something that we do on a normal basis. Like, we have these conversations all the time. We talk about things that are going on in the media, relationships, all those different things, and and things that are going on in our lives. And we have this dialogue, which is why we really wanted to bring this to a platform where we can potentially help other people in relationships that are going through similar things. So, I just want to, say I appreciate all of you guys for tuning in, and we'd love to see you back here for another episode of our Love Lounge.
Join us on the next episode.
Cheers up.
All right. Cheers up.